Hi, I'm Ryan Pearcy from Kuhn North America, Senior Product Manager. Today we have the Axent Precision Fertilizer Spreader. So this is a new spreader we are showing here at the National Farm Machinery Show. It's based off of the proven technology that we have on the mounted axis spreaders. What this is a large volume trailed precision fertilizer spreader. A couple key facts on it. So it's a trailed spreader that's 335 cubic foot of capacity, about 28,000 pounds worth of payload inside of it at one time. The key things that make it unique are your application rate control. So we've seen the smallest, basically the smallest amount of misapplication in the industry, 2% or less, compared to about 9% for a common fertilizer spreader out there. And also we see wide working width, with some additional cool features. As an example, we have some examples of common fertilizers and cover crops in here. One of the things that I would say that the guys, are really incredulous of until they see it in the field running is we can spread common fertilizers very wide. Urea is an example, the most common one guys are really interested in, 120 foot wide swath with precision. So there's some technology and some key things we've learned over the years that we can get it up to that working width. MAP, DAP, 100 to 120 feet depending on the quality. Also cover crops, 80 to 90 to 120 feet, depending on the actual cover crop itself. Some kind of cool things that also go into the machine itself as we kind of walk around. You can see again with the machine, with the trailed design, you can have it with a steerable axle. So if you're in hilly areas or anything like that, the axle can steer around. It's guided off of the tractor itself to be able to follow along. As we kind of go around to the back, maybe to see some of the things of the module itself, we can kind of talk about some of the key technology inside there. So again, this is where really all that technology comes to fruition. And what this is back here is the actual spreading system itself. So we have the big hopper. Inside of here you can see we have gates, so doors that open up and close depending on if that machine needs, here in the back, if it needs to be filled. So it's adjust by, you go faster, you go slower, it automatically controls that. This back here, we have an agitator to break up any chunky fertilizer or anything like that, so it's nice and smooth. Comes into this mini hopper. Down here is where that control of that fertilizer. So the wide working widths are really controlled by two things. One, there is a brush inside of here. What that does is it allows that fertilizer always to fall on the same part of the disc. Where these are made in our factory in Germany, they figured out if you could control where that fertilizer falls on the disc, you're really controlling the baseline of it, especially in high windy conditions. You also have these cross fins, these little steel pieces that go across there that block that wind. So one of the common questions is, if I can spread 120 feet, up to what wind speed is that possible? We say 15, 16 miles an hour, not an issue. Wider or windier than that, you might take the width down a little bit. Inside of here below the disc is a sensor. What this is doing all the time is measuring that fertilizer. I type in my rate up at the terminal, so this is an isobus machine, I type it in the terminal, or I'm going off a variable rate map. It will adjust itself, so it's always holding that rate. I go faster, I go slower, it automatically adjusts itself to keep that rate. Variable rate is standard on the machine. You don't need a dry rate controller, you just need a prescription map to feed into it. And then the last part that really makes it unique is section control, what we call dynamic section control. So I get to a pie-shaped part of a field or by a tree line, it will automatically adjust that spreading width all the way out, all the way down to zero, back and forth continuously, not in steps. We found by doing it continuously, you get even more precision. It does that by slowing down or speeding up the disc speed. It's all done via hydraulics and changing that drop point. If you want to do lime, this is really for granular fertilizer and cover crop seeds. If you want to do lime, we have a separate module. And what you do is you take this module off the back, it's mounted up here, it's fairly quick to do, and you put the lime module on. You can do ag lime, I would say heavier materials, organic materials, up to about 60 feet with precision. Also off of a variable rate map if you want to. To switch it over with one guy is probably about an hour. Two people can probably do it in about 30 minutes or less.